Which scenario is worse? So guys, as I'm going through the internet and looking up cyber attacks, because we've been warned for years that the mother of all cyber attacks is on its way. We are also, within the same breath, warned about an EMP attack that can happen at any given time. Now, my personal opinion, with an EMP attack, there's a lot that has to go on before we get to that stage. Also, an EMP attack is a multi-front attack, meaning it's not just one warhead, it's multiple warheads showering EMP above whatever country it is, and let's use the United States as an example, showering the EMP above the United States onto the United States and shutting off or destroying our electrical grid system. A cyber attack can do somewhat of the same thing, especially if they overload the electrical grid's transformers and blow those up or melt those down. We could run into the same scenario. Now, in my opinion, they're both just as bad because they both can create chaos and death. Though an EMP would take a lot longer to recover because you got to get that transformers made from whoever makes it. And I think they are made in China. And I thought there was one other place that they were made in Europe or South America, one of the two. But there's another place that they're made. It's not just China alone. And with the Chinese, they can hold that ransom. Now, with a cyber attack, they can hold the entire system ransom, but once they're paid, they can flip the switch on and power's back up and running in seconds versus an EMP that can take months to years to recover. And not recover, but months to years of getting the power back on, decades to recover. Whereas in cyber attack, it would take probably a couple months to recover from whatever damage was created. But in your opinion, you guys watching, what do you think is worse, EMP or the mother of all cyber attacks? Now, the mother of all cyber attacks, guys, this is a multi-front attack on different levels. This is the attack that takes everything out, either all at once or a systematic breakdown. And so we could be left without power. Our cars can be controlled because these people are hacking into the system, because most cars do hook up to the internet and allow people or hackers to go into your car and do whatever they want. And it has happened in certain cars, and I think it happened with Tesla. I'm not quite sure, but I could definitely see it happening with Tesla. Now, let's say my truck, the 2022 Tahoe, the only thing that they're going to get control of is maybe the radio, the AC. They could probably shut the car off at any given time they want if they're able to hack into it, versus a Tesla where they can actually control the vehicle itself. Now, these hackers can create all kinds of havoc, including taking planes out of the sky, operating a military aircraft and or ship. They can melt down the nuclear power plants. There's a lot of things they could do with a cyber attack that can probably be worse than an EMP attack. But that's why I said, in your opinion, what do you think is worse? Because I think they're both pretty bad. And they both can create a lot of chaos, a lot of death, though I think the EMP would take decades to recover from, whereas the cyber attack, or the mother of all cyber attacks, can take a couple of days, weeks, months, if not years to recover from it. Because again, it's the flip of a switch. It's someone actually releasing the power to turn back on or off, and they can also, at will, turn it off whenever they want, when they want more money to get more out of us. Now, both being dangerous, both being able to create a lot of damage and a lot of chaos, this is why we need to be prepared for both. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're preparing for an EMP, you might as well prepare for a cyber attack. They're both one and the same in the sense that they're going to create a lot of chaos and a lot of nonsense that comes on behind it. And with an EMP attack, the problem with that is a lot of communications will be shut off simultaneously, whereas a cyber attack, they might not hit the radio stations. And some radio stations they still can't hit because they are still on an analog system and not digital. There's a few that are still analog, but anything that's digital is probably going to be affected by hackers. Anyway, so with that, guys, what do you think is going to be worse? And if so, how much prepping do you need for both? Because I think if you're just prepared in general, you're prepared for 90% of the things that can happen. I don't think at this point in my prepper game, that there's an actual breakdown or there's an actual difference in preparing for one thing or the other. Right? Some things might require a little more prep than others, but I think if you're prepared in general, you're prepared for it all. I think a cyber attack and an EMP attack, if you're prepared for them, you're prepared. If you're prepared for flooding, hurricanes, and tornadoes, you're prepared. Though flooding, hurricanes, and tornadoes can relocate your home and relocate your preps at the same time. That's a different argument and a conversation for a different day. Other than that, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.